Welcome to The Author Show, where we feature new authors and books, from fiction to self-help and everything in between. You'll find it all at theauthorshow.com. That's theauthorshow.com. And now let the show begin.
Hello and welcome back to the show. This is your host, Don McCauley. Today we're welcoming program author Katia R V Reed, and she is the author of The Foretold Story, Book 1, Part 1. Before I bring in today's guests, a quick reminder that selected interviews are available in our iPhone app, which can be downloaded in the App Store, as well as on TV on the Roku channel and Amazon Fire TV. Our app name on all platforms is simply The Author Show. Katia, how are you?
I am doing fine. How about yourself?
Good. Well, tell us a little bit about yourself, please.
I'm a multi-artist. I do animation, filmmaking, fashion design, drawing. I also sing, and I am an author.
So tell us about your book.
My book is called The Foretold Story. The first book is in 2 parts, simply because it was too long, so I had to cut it into 2 parts, but it's actually in trilogy. It follows a young man in a future world trying to navigate through life, and he finds all these unusual events that happen. Extremely magical things, too, that are just out of this world.
So who did you write your book for specifically? Who's your target audience?
My target audience is anyone who can't seem to get a leg up in life. It's anyone who's seeking truth. It's anyone wishing to be enlightened for a deeper meaning of life and purpose. And just anyone that wants a good story. That's who I wrote this book for.
Would you say there's a minimum reading age for the book?
I'd say 13 would be the minimum, I would say.
Now, could you say there's any type of central message or perhaps underlying theme that you would say runs throughout your book?
Don't give up, no matter what. No matter how hopeless it feels, no matter if an asteroid were to fall on your house, do not give up.
So if you had to choose, what would you say is the single most important idea you're sharing in your book that's really going to add value to the reader's life?
That's a good question. I would say truth. It adds truth and perspective and understanding to what drives the world we live in, what makes people do the things they do.
Now, if you could compare your book with any book out there we might already be familiar with, which book would it be and why?
Well, if I had to compare this book to any book, I would say it's a mesh of books and movies, which is why it's cinematic. I'd say if I had to compare it to a book in that category, I would say a little bit of Harry Potter, a little bit of Star Wars, a little bit of Matrix, a little bit of Lord of the Rings, a little bit of everything is in this book.
Tell us about some of the characters in the book.
Ooh, all right. Some of my characters in the book. So you have Midas Aurelian. He's the one that's trying to pursue his dreams to work for the technological jewel of the future called the Skyscraper Empire. And all these bad things just keep happening to him, and he wants to give up. And then there's Erskine Wells, who you think is going to help, but he turns out to be the biggest villain you'll ever meet. And then there's the Tsar. He's like this really old guy, and he just doesn't want to die. He wants to live forever, and he literally just takes from younger people and their body parts and stuff. It's kind of creepy. And then you've got characters like Dinny. She's in the other realm, a higher power, full of wisdom and grace. And she's so tall and majestic and amazing. And then you got Midnight, the celestial warhorse, always ready for battle. And then you have Joyce Skyscraper, naive young lady that's trying to become an independent woman. It's just hysterical. There's so many characters.
Can you give us a brief synopsis of the storyline?
Sure. The story follows a young man named Midas in a future world, and he's trying to pursue his dreams to work for the Skyscraper Empire located in the heart of New York City. And as he's pursuing these dreams, there's these external forces that are manipulating and kind of almost trying to take over his life. And the deeper he goes into his dream and into trying to pursue his purpose in his life, he gets mixed up into very higher secret societies that nobody is aware of. And he's not even aware of himself, but he's caught up all in this middle. And at the same time, it's this battle of good versus evil between these two deities.
So where did you get the idea for this book?
Life. Life and experiences and my personal adventures that I had. And boy, will I tell you, life is one epic adventure.
Now, did your environment or upbringing play any major role in your writing?
Yes, it did. As for any artist, one of our essential jewels to creativity is these situations and circumstances that life kind of tosses at you. The people you meet and everything along the way, you find it out, and it's an outlet to release through writing and creating.
What can you tell us about this genre and why you decided to write in this genre?
Well, this genre, it's different. It's not quite one genre. It's many genres as life is. It has its happy moments, its sad moments, its magical moments. So it's a little bit of everything.
So what's been your most rewarding experience since publishing your book?
My most rewarding experience is making my mark. My fourth grade teacher told me something very important. No matter how fair life is, no matter what it brings to you, it's important to make your mark, to leave your mark so that other people will know how to get through life. And that is what I feel is very good for me more than anything, is that I'm making my mark.
Now, were you required or did you do any research for the book?
No, I didn't. I lived life, and that's what it is. Of course, along the way, I read books and other things. But for this particular book, no, not really. It's just writing and comes from me.
Which books have influenced you?
Which books influence me? I would say none of them really, because I'm me. I'm inspired by many others. I don't have a favorite, but it's just my own unique style of writing. I don't want to be like anybody else.
So how would you describe your writing style?
Very detailed. I'm an extremely detailed person. I have a very deep imagination, and I really like to be descriptive and play with words. Words is like, it's fun. It's like making a piece of art. You just put the colors together and everything. It's the words too. You can play with them, flow them, time them. It's a mathematical equation, really. It's fun.
Now, who or what would you say influenced your writing the most?
I would say it's just, again, it just comes from me, really. I read a lot of books. I watch movies with subtitles. I listen to everybody's dialogues around me. I listen to sound. I study sound. And that's what writing is to me.
So are your characters pure fiction, or do you draw from people you know in real life?
As any artist and author does, I'm always inspired by these unique encounters. So I would say yes, some of them very well are. That's the gift we artists and authors get. These jewels from people we meet.
So if you had to choose, would you say you're more of a character artist or more a plot-driven writer?
Both. Plot-driven and character. It's got to be a good story and good flow of things, but then there's also got to be some very deep character development along the way. That's what makes a story the story. You need both of those elements. So I'd like to think I did that.
What kind of feedback have you received from readers so far?
I've had some emails from people. They told me they want the next one. They're ready for the next part of the book, and that they really, really liked it, which was great. It's a bonus.
Other than selling your book, of course, is there anything else you hope to accomplish with it?
Again, I really hope that it resonates with someone and it gives someone encouragement and strength and just a simple good story.
In your opinion, who should buy your book?
Anyone who has had curveballs in life come their way and they want to figure out how to navigate through it, I think they should buy my book. I think anyone who doesn't want a superhero story per se should buy the book. Anyone who wants a new story or a different, fresh perspective should buy the book.
Do you have a website?
I do. The website is theforetoldstory.com.
Well, this has been just great. Our guest today has been Katia R V Reed, and she is the author of The Foretold Story, Book 1, Part 1. Katia, thanks very much for being with us.
Thank you.
This is Don McCauley wrapping up another edition of The Author Show. Go out there, buy the book today, and please share this interview with your friends so that they too have the opportunity to discover our guests and their work. The Author Show can be accessed at any time at theauthorshow.com. Selected interviews can also be found on major platforms like Amazon Fire TV, the Roku channel, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google Play, and many more. And whether you're an author who would like to be featured or a reader in search of new books to read, The Author Show is a great place to start. Check us daily as we continue to introduce wonderful authors of very interesting books on The Author Show.
Thanks for listening to The Author Show. Find out more about authors and their work at theauthorshow.com. Theauthorshow.com. Tune in next time to another great author on The Author Show.